I'm Adam and welcome along to a later version of our Sunday night live show. And as you could guess by the title, the thumbnail, I'm on a little bit of a wind-up. Now, this morning, somebody in one of the live shows I did, either on Football Talks, I think it was Football Talks, or Forever United TV, was having a go about my opinion about where Manchester United are, how I rate certain players, and where I feel United would finish this season. I'm pretty certain this was a Liverpool fan. So, tonight's show, we're going to get in on everything that has happened this weekend. We are now officially through the first part of the season. I call this the first part of the season, and I want your live chats in today. Get the debate going. Where will Man United finish this season? I've got a poll running right now. I'll get into that in a moment, but international break is here now, officially here. The last one of this calendar year before we get another one in springtime. So it is business end of the season. So everybody's jockeying for positions. Everybody's now in place in the Premier League. People still picking out Manchester United and still picking out problems at Manchester United. So I'm going to throw it straight back to the live chat. Is it our opportunity tonight as Man United fans to have a go back? And here's a couple of bits and a couple of snippets out of this as well. People going online and saying and having a go back at Virgil van Dijk after his comments to Wayne Rooney the other day. Also, people in the live chats and online right now on social media are picking out certain other clubs that are starting to fall away. Bournemouth 4-0 against Aston Villa. Aston Villa are now ahead of Man United in the league. I'm thinking we were actually going to drop further down the league because they beat Bournemouth 4-0. We're now ahead of Bournemouth. We're also ahead of Liverpool, who got smashed by Manchester City today. And why is nobody talking about Newcastle? Again, another away defeat as well. So, Man United fans in the live chat right now, and if you are catching up later on, get your comments in below. Where do you feel, with everything that's going on with the Premier League, how many teams are beating each other, how difficult it is, where do you think United can finish? Because when you look at this, I have to feel like Manchester United will, and even when the fixtures start to pile up a little bit come December, these other clubs around us have all got European football. I'm watching Crystal Palace labour to a 0-0 draw with Brighton. They didn't go ahead of us in the league table. I'm thinking Aston Villa with European football may drop away. I'm not really concerned about Aston Villa. No one is convincing. Man United are ahead of Liverpool. There is so much going on in this league table right now. I want to open up the debate and say, even with Manchester United not having a win in 2 weeks and no wins in the last two, we are actually better positioned than we was after we had our 3 wins in a row. So the table is so crazy. The league is so difficult in the Premier League. I actually feel like Manchester United can really compete for the top 4. I do actually believe that it is doable. A bit of investment into January and United screwing their heads on. I know we might have injuries, I know we might have meltdown games again, but United are difficult to beat now. And at home, if we keep that home record going, like I said, win your home games, you're always going to be up there and in around 7th, 6th in the league if you're winning all your home games, which we are doing right now. One of the best home records in the league. In fact, level with Manchester City at the moment. It's only Arsenal that's better than Manchester United at home this season. So, looking at that, and you managed to grind out them 5 away points we have in the last 3 games. You keep that form up. I hinted at this earlier on this morning. Some of the games that are coming up right now, like a Wolves away game, a Palace away game coming up, and you got 3 home games surrounding them 2 games as well. Manchester United, I think, can really make a move on this league table. I think we've played very, very difficult games. I've got through the first 11 games, be right in the mix, like literally in 4th place on goal difference, near enough. I'll go through the league table in a minute. But we've played Spurs away, we've played Liverpool away, we've played Manchester City away. We've also played Arsenal at home and Chelsea at home. And to take out of them big games, so let's just say our top 6 table, shall we, to get 7 points out of them compared to last season, yeah. I think we're doing okay. I think we're doing very, very well right now, Manchester United, in terms of the points and where we need to be and where we need to be positioned. Yeah, I'm not getting carried away, and you could say I am on the wind up, and there'll be plenty of people biting and disagreeing with me right now. But I look at Manchester United, I get angry. I get frustrated because we don't win the games we should be winning. We should be seeing games out, and they're facts. We know this. But I'm watching everybody else, and for the first time, I'm watching other teams, and I'm going, we'll beat them. We're just as good as them. We're not falling away, right? We're actually in the mix. And the whole point of this from my side of things is, and come back at me in the live chat, tell me what you feel. We'll go through some of the banter and what's been said by Liverpool fans and other people around the Premier League after today's action as well. But get into the live chat and tell me as well, like, what do you feel about it? So shoot me down and say that Manchester United are not in the mix. You can try and spin it as much as you want. Since 10-11 has come in goal for United, we've not lost a game. We're unbeaten in 5. Honestly, teams like Liverpool, teams like Newcastle United, if they were in the same form, people would be lauding them up. But no, United are being shot down. Look, I don't think we're great. I don't think we're there yet. Away from home is a big problem for Manchester United, and I'm realistically looking at this, but I don't see anybody else doing enough in this league to convince me that United are out of this. If we get our own ship in order and we are moving in the right direction, the Manchester United can go places. I really do think that there is an opportunity here. So get into the comment section. I'm coming straight in on this now. I want to get your thoughts on it. Give me anything that you've watched today, any of the games that you've actually watched and what you thought, and how you think Manchester United will fare in certain games. Do you feel like we can get into the European places with the way that the league is going this season? Will European football actually make an impact, or have an impact, on Manchester United's season, in the fact that we're not in it? I made a point this weekend that Manchester United, I don't think, are match sharp because we're not playing enough games. We'll let tidiness creep in for the other clubs going into the busy fixture periods around Christmas, because let's not forget, you've got the Carabao Cup games for all of the teams above us and the European Cup games for all the teams above us as well. It's going to be knackering, it's going to be tiring. There are big games coming up as well, like Chelsea and Manchester City. More teams above us that are going to be dropping points. Well, we're playing Everton. Well, we're playing Wolves, West Ham. These sorts of games also coming up for Manchester United. So that's my look on it. I've seen a few people online looking at this as well in terms of Manchester United's next few fixtures. So, yeah, get into the comment section. Let me know what you're thinking, everyone. Let's get in there now. It's down to development. If this happens, third place is achievable. Graham saying third is achievable. Wow. I didn't think that was coming today. But he's breaking it down there in development in terms of how Manchester United's team develop, I'm guessing, in this system. Can they get a better understanding of it? Look, there's plenty to look at in terms of United that could go wrong. Sesko's injury could hamper us. AFCON could kick in and really hamper Manchester United within these games that are coming up as well. Obviously, you've got to bring Leacher back in. How do we handle missing certain players when they're out of the side? And obviously, when you've got more games to play, obviously you've got more chance of getting injuries. And United are not dealing with that right now. So we're getting away with it a bit in terms of injuries, because we have all said over the last couple of days after this weekend's action that Man United's first 11 is decent, but the squad depth is poor. If you're having to start games, for instance, going forward with Dalot and Manuel Ugarte in your side, you're not going to feel as comfortable as a Manchester United fan, are you? You're not. Let's get some more in this. Everybody's losing points away. People need to calm down. Draws away will be good results most of the time. Tell you what, right now, like, I was really angry with the result yesterday, but looking at it, I see Liverpool getting battered. I'm looking at Bournemouth getting battered. Palace dropping points at home as well. Chelsea getting a win against Wolves, yes, but laboured and took a bit of time also in there. Newcastle coming nowhere near the top half of the table at the moment either. You also Liverpool below us right now in the league. There's so many teams that have got shocking away form this season. I think Manchester United's 5 points out of them last 3 games stands up. I think it does. We haven't been smashed like Bournemouth have this season. We haven't been smashed like for instance, we did lose the same scoreline as Liverpool did at Manchester City, but still, I thought we were more in the game, to be honest, than what Liverpool were today. They looked awful today, Liverpool. They really did. And when you look online, let's just, for instance, it's like when you look at Liverpool fans online right now after that week, and I said this morning, if Liverpool win today, they're back. But I fancy City, I really do. Liverpool have lost 40% of their games since exiting last season's Champions League to PSG under Arne Slot. Again, if it was Man United, there'd be a lot more of that type of news being shouted from the rooftops and all over social media. There would be, and you know there would be. It's 5 games unbeaten, like Tomo says there in the chat for Manchester United. The thing that worries me most about the Palace game, it's another midday in London. But then, after a defeat and a draw, we must be due a win. I mean, looking at it, again, shafted in fixtures. Are the fixtures going to really hamper Manchester United going forward? Are they going to have an impact on our season? The kickoff times coming up? I don't know. I said before, everyone's moaning about the 8 o'clock kickoffs, including myself. It's not great for the travelling fans. But when you look at the league table, Manchester United have got several South American players all on international duty coming back. And the fact that we don't play till Monday, for the first time, I'm actually quite happy that United have got an obscure kickoff and we're not first out. We've not got the early kickoff on a Saturday. We're not even playing on the Sunday. We've got 3 extra days compared to some clubs. That is going to help Ruben Amorim massively. Like Ugarte, Casemiro, Lisandro Martinez now as well, who's gone out on international duty, we're hearing today. Matthias Cunha, international duty. Like anyone who's on internationals that are important to us, that extra couple of days rest for us, I think could be massive. It really could. So, again, Everton on the Monday night, I do expect from United now. The home form is massive, and I think United will be chomping at the bit in that game. I do. I get what you're saying, Glenn, there. Thanks for renewing the membership as well, my friend. I do get what you're saying there. It is important to remember. Thank you for the super chats, or super sticker there. It's Mike. All right, that's Tom. Tom, yeah, use the one that was sending pictures of me trying to eat and digest my microphone yesterday in anger. So I'm guessing that's you, mate, there with that new YouTube name. Good one. Brits Abroad with a super chat. Thank you, mate. He says, let's be honest, we don't have the depth of quality to get top 6, especially with AFCON. However, if we buy Anderson and loan Vlahovic early Jan, then I'm confident of a top 4, top 6 finish. Right. Let's, for instance, just have a quick look. So, when you look at, let me bring up the fixtures for Manchester United first of all right now. So we did this earlier on as well, and I'm sorry again if we're going over it again, but I wanted to bring up the AFCON. So we're talking about where Manchester United are now. Currently, United sat in 7th in the table. We moved up a place today. It's crazy. I know. We went ahead of Liverpool and Bournemouth today without kicking a ball. So, good point against Spurs, you could say. So, we got Everton, then we got Palace, we got West Ham, we got Wolves, we got Bournemouth at home, we got Aston Villa away. Aston Villa away, I think it's the last chance that Manchester United players will be able to play. Now, Manchester United, we're hearing on reports that they are speaking to the AFCON nations and the players that are going out to that tournament as to when they need to leave. Manchester United want them players available for the game at Villa Park on the 21st of December. So I think that there is crucial for Manchester United, because after that, the next 2 games for United are both at home. So the AFCON game's affected. If United can keep the likes of Mazraoui, Brian Mbeumo and Ahmad available and keep them there and then send them out straight after the Aston Villa game, then the next 2 games are Newcastle at home and Wolves at home on the 26th and 30th of December. I'd fancy United to win both. The way that Newcastle are travelling this season, not 1 win away from home, battered again today by Brentford, having gone in front. And then Wolves, I'm not going to even go there. Wolves are shocking. If United don't win that, then there's no point in even talking about this. And then you're looking at, okay, a couple of away games coming up. Yes, Leeds and Burnley, both away in the first week of January. So then 4 games there, 4 big games for Manchester United, you could say, in terms of it being Newcastle and Wolves, but I'm also looking at that and thinking we can get through both of them games. They're good games I would like to have if we're missing a few players, as many home games as possible. Away games, if I was going to choose away games to have with missing certain key players, I'd definitely pick 2 promotion sides away from home. I know there is the rivalry with Leeds. I know that Burnley defend well and defend deep, and it's still not easy, but come on. If you're picking games out, you're picking them ones. And then the next game after that is the FA Cup. We might get a plum draw. We might get someone down the pyramid in that game. And then by the time we've got the Manchester derby on the 17th of Jan, we could have all of them AFCON players back. So realistically, AFCON does play onto Manchester United and affect us. But if we cannot muster some wins out of that group of games there, and I'll go through them again: Newcastle home, Wolves home, Leeds away, Burnley away, and then the FA Cup. And then we're looking to get the players back for the Manchester derby on the 17th. It will probably be the 18th of, I'm guessing, January, because it's going to be moved from the 17th, which is a Saturday, 3 o'clock. The broadcasting schedule's not come out for the Manchester derby yet. So I'm guessing that's going to be moved on another day. But, well, that is obviously unless, because I think AFCON finishes that weekend, unless some of our players are in the final. So we just got to pray that the Ivory Coast and Cameroon don't make the final, and Morocco don't make the final. Well, I don't know enough about African football at the moment to say who's good and who's not, but Cameroon haven't looked massively impressive. I don't think Ivory Coast have either in qualification. I'm looking, that's a far-out guess there as well from what I've seen, just looking at the results, but I still feel like Manchester United can handle them games. I do believe that United are not in a bad position there with them players. So, yeah, I keep your comments coming in as well, everybody. Let me know where your major concerns are. We just had another 2 super chats drop in there. We are getting 10 points from our next 5 games, 100%. As for AFCON, if Leachart is fit and Mount stays fit, we will be all right. It affects others too. It does. You've got other big clubs that are missing key players. It's not just United. We're missing 3 key players. The Honest Tiger, thank you very much, mate. Would you take an FA Cup run over anything? I'd take an FA Cup run and winning the FA Cup because it gets us in the Europa League. Like I said, give me the Europa League this season. United need European football. If we don't make top 4, I'm not going to be calling for Ruben Z. We need at least a top 6 finish or an FA Cup win, just back into the Europa League at least for next season for Man United. That's what's important for us, I think, right now. And Honest Tiger, mate, I would take a cup run, 100%. Mazraoui Morocco plays before Villa. Ahmad and Mbumo play 2 days after Villa. United will have to pay good money to have them available. I'm sure they will. I mean, let's just have a quick look at AFCON dates. Let's just make sure. Alright, so 21st of December is the first game, which is Morocco. 22nd is a few. Yeah, so it all pretty much kickstarts on the 21st. And then we're looking at there, let's see, the round of 16, third place, and so the third place and the final are played on the Derby Day weekend. So you've got, unless Morocco, Ivory Coast, and Cameroon make the last 4, then as in like both make the semi-finals, then Manchester United will have our players back for the Manchester Derby. That's big. That could be big. So all eyes on AFCON and hoping that certain teams do drop out early in this competition. But yeah, in terms of the group stages, when the group stages are finished, they finish on New Year's Eve. And then the round of 16 kickstarts on the 3rd of Jan. So effectively, Manchester United could have some teams being knocked out of that our players are in, and they could be back the week before the Burnley game. So it's only if the players go all the way through. If them African nations go all the way through to the end of the tournament, then United are looking maximum up to the Manchester Derby for missing players. That's what we're looking at. So yeah, I'm not too concerned. I'm not worried too much about Manchester United's fixtures in the middle of the AFCON tournament. I think we will get around it okay, to be honest. Fingers crossed anyway. Fingers crossed. Keep your comments coming in, everybody. I mean, look, you got Raws there. It's gives me another super chat. Thank you, mate. Does the rumoured €30 million offer on Agate wipe out what United owe on him? It will after 2 years, yes. So effectively, in terms of football, business-wise, transfers, Manchester United won't be looking at any massive need to sell Manuel Ugarte, but if they did, having made 2 payments on that transfer fee, if anyone comes in with 30 to 35 million, Manchester United will easily break even on Manuel Ugarte. Yes, on that one. By the way, so other news as well, quickly in the middle of all of this. Joshua Zirkzee does prefer a move back to Italy, is what's being reported out there. I have had the poll running from the start, and this is where Man United fans are at right now. I said this at the start of the show, and please do, if you're not live with us and catching up later on, get involved in this chat as well. So Manchester United, where will we finish this season? The poll is running now. Top 4, top 6, top half or bottom half. Winning it right now is top 6, which I think is probably sensible for Man United. Top 6 is definitely doable, looking at where we're at right now. 7th in the league. Top half, 16%. Bottom half, 2%, which is a lot more positive than it has been before. Finishing in the top 4, 35% of you think Man United can finish top 4, which is a complete breath of fresh air. It really is. I'm really happy that we actually have got... well, the team has turned the fan base around a little bit and given us a little bit of hope. That, I think, is 100% something that I never thought would happen. I couldn't see this happening at all. But this last 5 games have given us some belief, even though it's not been perfect at times. Still, the fact that this team is hard to beat and I've got a little bit of fight in them now definitely gives us a better chance, I feel. Stay in the mix till Christmas. See how we go then. After Christmas, Deborah, yep, AFCON will be in. And look, if we're in and amongst it, let's just say Manchester United are 5 points off top 4 by Christmas. I think we've done well. I think we have done well there. It could be more. It could be better. But again, if we do invest in January, game on. Completely game on, Manchester United. We'll see how this is. Shout out to Kanabiak as well. He scored his first goal for Lausanne. First senior goal. That was the 17-year-old that United brought in this summer. He's smashing it for his under-18s national side at the moment. But first senior goal. So we do have another striker out on loan right now, scoring goals in another top league. Well, top professional league anyway in Switzerland. So yeah, just to keep you up to date with that, he has scored as well, so that's good to keep an eye on the younger players in and around Manchester United that we have brought in as well that could potentially feature going into the future. 34% of the fan base is completely delusional. I don't think they are, Ian, mate, honestly. I don't think they are. You look at it, like, I know there's a long way to go, but you can't ignore the table. In fact, let's get the Premier League table up right now. Let's have a look at this. So, top of the pile, Arsenal on 26, dropped points this weekend. Manchester City then 4 points behind them on 22 points. And then it's Chelsea in 3rd, Sunderland in 4th. Manchester United are a point off 4th place right now. We're 4 points off Manchester City, who are in 2nd. And we are 8 points away from Arsenal at the top of the league. This is 11 games in right now. Sunderland between, and this is crazy. This is the maddest stat ever. Check this out. So from Chelsea in 3rd, all the way down to Everton in 13th. 13th, yes. There's 5 points. 5 points in it. From 13th to 3rd in the Premier League. Now tell me, and United are smack bang in the middle of that. We are 2 points off Chelsea, who we've already beaten this season. Chelsea, who lost to Sunderland, who Manchester United comfortably beat this season. Anybody can beat anybody. If you hold your own away from home and don't let teams get one up on you, and then you win your home games, we're in Europe next season. We literally are in Europe next season. That's what we're looking at right now. Manchester United climbing a place today above Liverpool and Bournemouth in the league table because they were actually battered. Manchester United's defensive record now in the top 10 is now getting closer to other teams in there, namely Bournemouth and Liverpool. Bournemouth have equally as bad defence as Manchester United now in the Premier League, which is crazy. Liverpool are only 1 behind us with the massive megastar Virgil van Dijk in their defence. They're 1 behind us as well right now. We have scored more goals than Bournemouth and Liverpool and Aston Villa. I think we scored more goals than the likes of Sunderland. We've got as many goals as Spurs. There's only the top three that have scored more goals than Manchester United this season so far. If you're scoring goals, then you're going to be competitive. Look, I get it. Mbeumo has been the man behind all of that, and he now is going to be missing for some part going into the Christmas period, and that probably could have an effect on us. Look, I get it. I do. I think that is going to be a big miss. Take the 30 and buy a goal, mate. Good player, says Ant. Look, I mean, United are going to be in the transfer market. I think we should be looking for somebody in January. We need to bring somebody else in for Ruben Amorim, I feel, because he's got something here. And United, look, if you can fast track your plans and make something happen this season and get a player in to help that happen. Like Manchester United weren't planning on making top 4 this season, but when the opportunity comes about, why not? Why not go for it? Why not try and push for top 4? And that includes going out and investing in January. So let's have a look at that, and let's try and get that. Let's try and get that midfielder in January to help Ruben Amorim. Let's get a few more in. Adam, can Manchester United recall Rasmus Højlund because Benjamin... Whoa, sorry, that was really ill-timed sneeze. Bless me. No, and we won't be recalling Rasmus Højlund either. The loan doesn't have a break clause in it or anything like that. So, and to be honest, I don't want Rasmus Højlund back. He's going through another bad patch now, and I just think that United are done with him. Ruben won't want him back in the side anyway. But as far as I know on the loan, mate, no, we don't. Before Jan, you can ignore the table. It's nice, but nothing more. No, disagree, Manny. Look at the table now. Look at the table now. Because they're the teams that have positioned themselves ready to go after this last international break. Look, you always look at the table come October time, November time. Because that then is everybody settled, everybody's fit, everyone's played a fair share of games. You're over, or you're just under a third of the way through the season at this point. And if you're in the mix, you might as well push forward in it, because at that point you are either confident or you are shot. A look at Newcastle right now. Newcastle, absolutely dreadful. Absolutely. Who'd have thought that Eddie Howe would have been looking at 14th in the league table with only 3 wins so far this season, -3 goal difference and 12 points. Nobody would have seen that coming for Newcastle, but they've just been beaten by Brentford, and they've just been beaten by West Ham away from home. Who'd have thought that Nottingham Forest would be second bottom in the table? Yes, they got a good win today. They needed that. But again, they are still second bottom of the table with only 2 wins this season. 2 teams that were challenging for the Champions League last season. And that's where they are. You get to this point of the season and you know if you're in it. And I'm just going to say this and keep saying it again. United are in this. Look, as long as we're scoring goals, we're always going to be in it. We just need to sort out the back line. And if we invest in January, United can push forward from here. Because you can say don't look at the table until January. January is when you can really give yourself that boost. So you've just got to be in and amongst it by the time January comes around. And then you can invest in your squad and do something in the window to really push yourselves forward. So it is important, and you have to look at it right now, because realistically, you have to say that you're in the mix. Are you going to tell Sunderland fans that they don't deserve to be in the top 4 right now after what they've done? Getting points off the likes of Arsenal, getting points off Chelsea. I'm looking at that and I'm going, Sunderland deserve to be where they are right now. I think the league table, when you look at it, even if you're Brentford and Brighton with 16 points, you're only 4 points off 3rd place in the league. It's like anyone can just catapult themselves forward. The league table is so crazy this season that you have to look at it right now, because anybody can leapfrog 4 or 5 positions in 1 week. And eventually, yeah, it may level itself out a little bit, but get up there while you can. And then if you are in and amongst it, just a few points off come January, then you can go and invest and you can really push forward in the second half of the season. I just don't think you should be ignoring where we actually are right now. Look, it can always go wrong, I get it, but it can easily just really propel Manchester United forward, I think. And I think that's where we're at right now. I do. I'm looking at that table there and I'm looking at the form. Manchester United there, 3 wins, 2 draws. Top of the table, Arsenal have got 4 wins, 1 draw. City, 4 wins and a defeat. Same for Chelsea. Sunderland there have only won 2 of the last 5. They're in top 4. Spurs, 2 of the last 5. Manchester United's form is decent. It's only Aston Villa now, who only lost to Liverpool last week, who are ahead of Manchester United form-wise. Look, if Liverpool can be 8th, Manchester United can be top 4. That's how crazy this league table is. I feel like Man United can push and get top 4. I really do. I do think that comes with investment, though, in January. I do think we need somebody else in. Look, Block with a super chat says, I'm hearing that Trabzonspor fans are hoping that Cameroon go all the way in AFCON. Apparently, he's not doing bad, mate. He's not doing bad, according to reports, anyway. But yeah, let him do well over there. I don't care. It's the Mr. Andre Anana, if anyone was wondering. It's the same old. We ain't as good offensively due to covering our poor midfield. We ain't as good defensively due to the defender having to push up to help. Look, I think there's just moments in games where Manchester United have switched off. I think there's moments in games where Manchester United actually could have done a lot better in that phase of play. I really do. And I think we will get to grips with it eventually. Look, I think offensively we are doing well. We're up there scoring plenty of goals. And you can't say that we're not. And let's just see now when we've got these so-called lesser games coming up, the likes of Everton at home you expect to win, Wolves, West Ham. You've got Leeds and Burnley also coming up as well in these next 10 games. I expect United to be scoring goals again. Look, there's a lot to look at when it comes to the league table, but one thing I will say is that it's the table doesn't lie, and Manchester United are there and thereabouts, and nobody would have thought Manchester United would be in the position we were in when you asked them at the start of the season. So why should we not think we could do more? Another 11 games on. So let's see when we hit 22 games, when we do hit that January mark. Let's see where we are. I think we will be in and amongst it still. We're around about the top 6, personally. I do. And I've said this all along. And just to wrap it up on my side of things on that, I think Manchester United finishing in the top 6 would be a very, very good season for us, considering. And I do think that we can do it. I think we can get top 6. And I think we can win the FA Cup. And that would be a good season for Ruben Amorim. And that sets us a little bit of foundation to build from. Adam, how did the ladies get on earlier? God, this is why I was late, actually, tonight. A mad game. We played Oldham Athletic today. Red card, penalty that wasn't. We ended up drawing 4-4, and Kaz actually got the equaliser in the 87th minute. It was drama. It was absolute drama. Lashing down rain. Pitch was crap, but we managed to get another point on the board. And actually, it was nice scoring some goals today and seeing goals. But yeah, Kaz got the equaliser in the 87th minute. And yeah, it was a mad one, but a very good result for us away from home again. I've got a few more games left this calendar year. So yeah, make sure, like, if you are wanting to watch some proper football, then come down and watch Winton Wonders. Winton Wanderers, ladies. It won't disappoint, I promise. We're actually at Gig Lane on, I think, the 7th of December. So, stadium game as well, where you can just come in and watch if you want, everybody. So, yeah, Gig Lane on the 7th of December, if anyone wants to come and watch that one. The old famous ground. You all know it. But, yeah, it was a long afternoon anyway. Tiring, but well worth it. And we got a well-deserved draw out of that one. Let's see what else we've got quickly in here. Let's get some more comments in. No, but considering the size of the club and losing Brian Graham, fair play to him. Adam, how did... Sorry, I've read that one out. Ineos killed our season last January, putting players on loan with no one coming back. I don't think it killed it. I think it was just an absolute dead atmosphere around United, and it was just impossible to get any result. And Sunderland were the worst of the 5 teams to visit Old Trafford. Yeah. They was. This is also why our defence gets tired. They're always under the cosh with the lack of discipline and possession in midfield. Although Bruno looks more disciplined yesterday, still shite though. I don't think he was disciplined yesterday. I don't think he was. Everyone who is thanking Kaz in the chat, she just shouted up to me now to say thank you. And yeah, again, cheers everyone for all of the praises for Kaz there. Definitely deserved it. We are back. Winton are back. We're in the Prem and we're trying to survive in the Prem, actually. Our first season in County Prem level. So it's some good opposition in our league. Some really, really good teams. So we are all right. We started now unbeaten in the last 2 and starting to compete again now. We're getting our team together. So boom, let's have it. Couple of weeks off now. So we got an international break ourselves, it seems. So yeah, no game next weekend, and then we play again on the 23rd. But yeah, please do send us a message or directly message us if you want to come along and watch and say hello as well. And make sure that you do. Tickets are always free for any of the games. Anyone can turn up. And like I said, that one coming up at Gig Lane is probably a good one. So yeah, you don't have to sit in the elements. You can come in the stands. It's completely free to watch as well. So come along and watch the girls if you want. Interesting stats with Casemiro on the field. We've conceded 5 with him replaced. 15. It explains our late dramas. We need midfielders now. We do need a Casemiro replacement. When Maguire and Casemiro both came off the pitch yesterday, United went to crap. They did. And it's something that needs to be addressed. And I'm sure the analysis team at United, Ruben is working with his coaches. They will be looking at that, and they will be going into detail. I think this is why there's been a big conversation. There's been a big conversation there about bringing in the right midfielder in January, and why we've heard Ruben Amorim talk about maybe getting some business done if we can do. Malachi Kennedy says, need to see you and Kaz do a show together, Adam, sometime soon. My favourite couple. Yeah, mate, we are hopefully going to do it. But if I behave the way that I do on Watch Alongs, I don't think Kaz would want to be anywhere near me. I have to really behave if that's going to happen. It's hard for me. Everyone knows I'm a loony bin when the football's on. And apologies again for my behaviour yesterday. But it's so frustrating watching United sometimes. It really is. Just a fan with a temper. But yeah. Some famous Arsenal fans were finding it difficult yesterday as well. I'm sure you all know who I mean as well. I'm sure there's been a few people looking at them clips online of some Arsenal fans not being able to handle a team scoring against them or having a bit given back to them. If you know, you know. Anyway, it's got around a little bit, and yeah, it did make me smirk a little bit seeing them images. It was funny. Every goal Lamens has let in, he couldn't do much about. Look, I'm really happy with Senna Lamens. Look, I mean, come on, you all know me. You know I criticise the team as well. We are nowhere near fit to be challenging, but we're just not there. We don't have the depth. But I'm just making the point here. This season, it's open. The Premier League is open this season for anyone to take advantage. It's a strange one. It is. As I said, for there to be 5 points from third place in the table, Champions League third place Chelsea, all the way down to, I think it's Everton, was it? What was it I was saying before? What was it? Yeah, so from Everton in 13th to Chelsea in 3rd, there's 5 points in it. If you'd have told me we were 5 points away from the Europa League places at this point of the season, I'd have gone, all right, yeah, we're still in it. We can claw that back. We just cannot go the way we did last season and can be completely cut adrift. Now, being cut adrift is like what Newcastle are at the moment. Them languishing down there in 14th on 12 points, that is disastrous for Newcastle United. That really is. Not scoring goals. I mean, for the likes of West Ham, Burnley, to have more goals than Newcastle this season, I tell you what, losing Alexander Isak has affected them. It's probably affected Liverpool as well, hasn't it? In buying him, to be honest, because they've gone to pot as well. But yeah, just so everybody's clear, the nightmare season that Newcastle are having, they're in better form than Liverpool right now. The team second bottom in the league, Nottingham Forest, who have got 2 wins all season, are in better form than Liverpool. at the moment. You can see where I'm going with this, can't you? Not wanting to upset my Liverpool friends too much, but sometimes I think just enjoying the fact that you are ahead of your biggest rival and they've lost 2 more games than us this season and we are ahead of them in the league. We scored more goals than them this season as well after they spent, 200 million on strikers and another 100 million on an attacking midfielder. Oh yeah, that they also bought in 2 of the so-called best fullbacks/wingbacks in Europe as well. Yeah, we're doing better than them so far this season. Crazy, isn't it, football? But like I said, if Liverpool can be 8th, United can be top. That's how mad that is. I still can't get my head around the fact that Liverpool are in 8th. How bad. Wow. Anyway, that pretty much sums up everything that we want to cover today. I just want to say thank you, everybody, for sticking around for the later show this evening. A little bit different today. We did get back late from the game, so thank you, everybody, who's seen that message and post on the community section as well there. I do apologise sometimes. I like to stick to the schedule as much as I can, but I did enjoy the later show tonight, actually. I thought most people in the chat did as well. I mean, what else are you going to do? There's nothing else on, is there? So get in here, give me your thoughts, and we have a good chinwag and a good debate. And we have done tonight. Let's see where we're at with the poll. Where will Manchester United finish this season? And 49% of the vote is gone with the top 6 so far. That is the popular one. Top 6 for Manchester United. Top 4, 34% in second place. Top half, 14%. Bottom half, 2%. I'm going to end that poll there. Honestly, I don't know how the 2% of the bottom halfers are thinking. That's got to be Liverpool fans, surely, or City fans, something like that. Anyway, thank you so much. Thank you for all the super chats this evening. Thank you to everyone for your comments, all of the likes. Please pop a like on the video. Make sure you do hit that subscribe button as well, everyone. And we will be back first thing in the morning with all of your Manchester United news and updates as always. Cheers, everybody. Have a good one. Enjoy what's left of your weekend, and I'll see you all in the morning.